I got the horse right here.
Hello, racing fans, and welcome back to another edition of Handicappers Corner, brought to you by the Derby Bar and Grill. I'm Mike Heads, along with Drew Forster. We're going to go through the September 27th races at Hastings. Should be a lot of fun. 7 races on tap. No stakes races today, but still a good. We actually got a couple of former the BC Derby winner and title contender,
that's
and
a
commander,
good race.
multiple stakes winner and former champion. That's part of that's our feature race of the day, but they're not in stakes races anymore, unfortunately. But
no stakes races.
Not a good show.
But some pretty wide open races. Tough to pick winners. We'll try and lead you in the right direction.
They'll test you.
See how we do. As of taping, the Sea to Sky Pick 6 is about 63,000. See if he gets one on Saturday. It could be even bigger on Sunday. Hopefully we can try and get you the winning ticket.
All right, on to the Sunday opener. I'll kick things off in race number 1. I'm going to try the 3-horse Irish Romeo, part of a $16,000 open race going a mile on the 16th. This horse last time was down on the inside, shuffled back, still battled on well. I like Amadeo getting on this horse. I think this will be a big plus. No disrespect to David Lopez, who's obviously riding, a pretty live one in Mark. But still, I liked Irish Romeo last time against Bear Rock and Roll and Go for Guinness. I thought the horse would run well. Just didn't think the horse got the right kind of trip. Maybe it'll get the right kind of trip this time. Hopefully back on a fast track. It was a sloppy track last time, but we'll see how that plays out. Maybe I'm fighting an uphill battle if the weather goes bad on me on the weekend. But I like Irish Romeo to defeat a far more seasoned Bear Rock and Roll, who all he does is win races. And I put the 4-horse Distillery in for third on the class drop. This horse, even though you're dropping in class, you're still running against a pretty good horse.
Yeah.
And unless you're on your game, you're still not going to win if you were not firing on all cylinders.
Yeah.
And he just doesn't seem to be firing on all cylinders for me. Maybe he'll make a liar of me, but I got to pick him over Uncle Willard and Mark. But I put him in for third. But I'm going to follow Irish Romeo back. I don't think he got the greatest trip last time. I think he'll be better positioned and won't be out there on the lead, and he'll run more like the horse that went around there in 45 flat and won very nicely 2 starts back against easier company. But I went 3-1-4.
I went to Uncle Willard.
I know, it's my horse. I love Uncle Willard.
Yeah, I went kind of a long shot here on Uncle Willard. Just because I think he's the only speed in the race. I don't see anybody that's going to go with him. The only one that's got a little bit early foot is Bear Rock and Roll. It's a stable mate.
Yeah.
He's not
Irish Romeo can go at times.
Irish Romeo can, but he's like he is the
I don't
speed.
want him to go.
He's the speed of the speed.
Distillery's fast.
Distillery can be quick out of there too. He's got some
that one's
speed.
going.
That's on the inside of him. I just think Uncle Willard's going to get the trip. I put him on top. Bear Rock and Roll has not been the same horse he was last year, but I like Uncle Willard because he's going to be the only speed. And the other horses I like are the guys coming out of the Go for Guinness race. Bear Rock and Roll ran second to him twice.
Yeah.
If Go for Guinness wasn't here, he'd be your heavy favorite. Put Bear Rock and Roll in there. And Mark, who ran a good second behind Go for Guinness last time, I put him in for third. He'll be rolling late. I went 5, 1, and 2.
Yeah, tough opener. It's not an easy race to handicap.
No.
There's a lot going on in the first. There's only 5 horses, but there's a lot going on in that race.
Make a case for about everybody in there. On to the second $16,000 claimant event for straight 3-year-olds, going a mile and a 16th. This is another one, kind of befuddled me. I ended up on Heartset. Got a good 73 buyer last time. That towers over this field, running 4th behind Laguna Blaze and Wonder World. They went in 143 and 2. They went very, that's a good time last time. If we can get anywhere close to that, look out for him. Richard Hamill sticks with him. I got Heartset on top. I put Rosie's Notice in the second spot. Running in stakes company, basically his last 2 starts, running the Sedine and Creus in an optional 25, and then on the sale stakes against Mighty Fraser, Torneador, Peace Arch. This is a softer spot for him. Wouldn't be surprised to see him get in the winner's circle. I'll put him in the second for our good friend Lauren McDougall. And I put the filly in for third spot, Anastasia Lass. Broker Maiden, then she came back and ran that Laguna Blaze race against older horses. At least now she's in against boys, but at least she's in against just 3-year-olds. And if there is some pace in here and it gets hot up front, she's got a nice kick. She'll come running late. I went 4-6-2.
Yeah, I thought this race was pretty easy, actually. I thought it was 4 or 6. I don't know. I want Heartset or Rosie's Notice. I really don't want the other 4 horses. That's it. I mean, I like Rosie's Notice or Heart. I went Heartset on top. I mean, this horse's last few races have been very, very good. Hard to fault him. Rosie's Notice is a good backup. I mean, there's not much between the Rosie's Notice. Actually beat Heartset 2 starts back. although Heartset kind of had a tough trip that day. But I mean, those two, there's not much between them. I thought it was 4, 6, 6, 4,
You're right.
and then somebody
It's
else.
those two, yeah.
And then, but I went Heartset, Rosie's Notice, and I put the 5-horse PS Betting on You in for third. But I went 4, 6, 5 in the second. On to the third race, $4,000 fillies and mares, onwards to 3 Lifetime, going 6.5 furlongs. I'm going to take the easy way out with the 1-horse Moonride. I tried to look at 100 different horses to beat. Moonride loves to lose, and so I don't want a 6-5 shot that wants to lose. But I ended up with Moonride because they're just running at 6 fillies that want the lead.
Yeah.
Everyone wants the lead. You want Catching Fire if it breaks. Goes to the front. You got the Tenant, Cheekbird, Cadeo, Cassidy Command, the Kula Kid. You got 6. This is like tailor-made
all gas
for Moonride, who might be 7th early, which would be mighty fine for David Lopez.
Just
but
perfect.
There's going to be flying up front, but I can't see anyone sneaking away, so I went Moonride on top over the 2-horse Catching Fire. Catching Fire is definitely the best horse in the race. I don't know why the horse dwelt 2 starts back, but it didn't dwell last time for 4,000 and ran off and
she's
hit.
over it,
because she ran a good time, considerably quicker than other horses that day. She ran the same day as Moonride. I don't have my glasses on, but September the 12th.
Yeah.
I think they were both the same day, and she ran 3/5 of a second faster. So I mean, she's the best horse in the race, but she might be compromised by other horses pushing her. And so that's the only reason I put her in the second spot. And I put the Kula Kid in for third. I have no idea why I put the horse in for third, but at least the horse was running against non-4s last time. Cuts back to non-3. I didn't love anyone else. I like 1-2, 2-1.
Yeah.
It's a 2-horse race for me on paper. 1-2 or 2-1. I went 1-2-7.
I got the same horses. First 2, Moonride, I put on top, as you mentioned. It looks like it's going to set up nicely for her and David Lopez. Catching Fire put in the second spot. I put the Tenant in the third spot of the Pat Jarvis barn just because, bear with me here.
Yeah. Carry on.
She runs She runs a good one, then she runs terrible. Then she comes back and runs a good one, got a 59 buyer, then came back and run terrible.
This is her 61 buyer now.
This is her 61 buyer. Maybe today's the day. I went 1, 2, 3 in the third. On to the fourth. Good race here. Optional 25,000 for older horses, going a mile and a 16.
Commander and Title Contender.
7-horse field. I put Title Contender on top. 5 for 10 in the money. Lifetime going long. He's a cool horse. He can go. He can sprint. He can go long. And another one. I mean, other than off the top, he's on the outside. Laguna Blaze has some really speed, but he's on the outside of those horses. He's going to find a good spot. Reyes is on him. I like Title Contender to win it. I put Wilo Cat, who's coming out of Stakes Company. Last time he dropped out of Stakes Company into 25, ran a very good second behind Devil in Disguise when they went very slow half. And Devil in Disguise was a few lengths in front of him and just couldn't catch him.
Right.
But Wilo Cat definitely eligible to win this race. And I put the old boy, Senior Rojo, in the third spot. I went 5, 6, 7.
Yeah, I've left both Commander and Title Contender out of my top 3. Title Contender had every shot to win last time. Couldn't beat a stablemate Richter Red, who's still a pretty nice horse, Richter Red. But Title Contender stuck ahead in front of him and hung.
Yeah.
And I just don't like that, and I hate seeing that. I know this horse is not as good as he used to be. Now he's going a mile and a 16th. And I just think he's vulnerable. I mean, you're getting 4 to 5, or you're getting 6 to 5 or 4 to 5 on Title Contender. And these are the kind of horses as handicappers, public handicappers, that we want to tell you, maybe you should take a shot against, because this is the opportunity, for. I like the one horse here off the top, who was only a couple lengths behind Title Contender last time. Off the top is not a sprinter. This horse went 3 wide much of the race, and
6 for 6.
The inside didn't help. I mean, I just think from the inside going along, he's going to get the lead. And Title Contender will sit off. But I just think off the top going along, his race behind Al Capone and Senior Rojo was only his second off of a layoff. He's only had 3 races this year. And he's been playing catch up, and I hope it isn't going to cost him. He's going to, be flat today because of him being rushed to get into these races where other horses are far better prepared because they've had a jillion races going into this one. But off the top is a really nice horse, and I just think he's going to run well. I put the 6-horse Wilo Cat on the class drop. I think he'll get a good, favorable pace scenario to run into, and I agree with Senor Rojo. He's as honest as the day is long. This horse will run. If he gets a trip, he'll win.
He'll come running.
And he's just a nice, honest horse that'll make everyone else run. If they run in 144, Senor Rojo is going to win it. If they run in 43 and change, he might run second.
Yeah.
But I mean, Senor Rojo is going to make him run. But Wildcats live. I went 1, 6, and 7. It may be a mistake leaving Commander and Title Contender, two very, even El Capone I've left off. I mean, like a cool
Rojo
horse that beat everyone last time. But he got a pretty favorable pace scenario that day, El Capone did. So, but a very tough fourth race. I went 1, 6, and 7. On to the fifth race. Maiden $4,000 claimers going 6.5 furlongs. I ended up on the 3-horse Listo Warrior, who was absolutely taken out of the race at the start last time. I liked him in his last, and he got hopelessly buried through the opening 5 or 6 jumps out of the gate. So, and he's just not a brave enough and good enough horse to overcome any adversity. These kind of horses cannot overcome adversity. You get bumped 5 wide, you're done. You get pushed 3 wide on the first turn, you're done. You get squeezed at the gate, you're done. With these kind of horses, they're not good enough to overcome a
line
hiccup.
up perfectly for you, yeah.
So, at least to Wario, I mean, we're still going to need a good trip. I know he's got 2 inches of form on him, but I mean, he's, you know, I think a horse is going to get a favorable pace scenario. There's the 1 jockey style going. The 4-horse One to Believe is a need to lead type that continues to fail on the last 1/8 of a mile. Harrison Hope is out there. There's just a lot. There's a ton of speed in this race, and I just think Listo Warrior, better drawn in gate 3, is going to be me beat the 10-horse New Jersey Joe, who is the obvious choice, but is, you know, 10-horse, 10-hole, and 11-horse field for maiden 4,000. You got to try and beat them horses.
Not ideal, yeah.
You know, that's not a most comfy spot. Jeff Burningham's really going to have to, you know, get a little bit of luck with New Jersey Joe. And I put the 5-horse Harrison Hope in for 3rd. I thought he ran admirably last time after getting bounced around the start. But I like 3. If anyone's going to beat the 10, who is the horse to beat, definitely New Jersey Joe. If anyone beats him, I think it's going to be the 3 Listo Warrior. I went 3, 10, and 5.
I did go with New Jersey Joe just because it's his 5th start, and I've picked him the previous 4 times.
You got to get it.
I'm going to stick with him. He's going to get there one of these days. And laid a lot closer last time. I don't think he's going to have to do that today because, as you mentioned, there's a fair bit of speed in here. There should be something for him to run at.
Should be able to clear out.
And a hot jock, Jeff Burnham.
No, what a great day. That was so cool last week for Jeff.
Very good to see Jeff
pile of races.
3 races last week.
Futurity included.
And paying big prices on all of them. New Jersey Joe for me on the top spot. I put Harrison Hope in the 2nd spot. Well-bred son of free quarter time. He's throwing some good horses around here. And just hadn't shown pretty much anything, and finally put together a good race last time. I think he can build off that.
Actually, 2 of his last 3 starts haven't been that bad.
Yeah, the one before that was okay. But I just think he's trending in the right direction, so I put him in the 2nd spot. And jockey style, of the speed horses, I think he might be the toughest of them. So I put him on the lead. He's in the 1 hole. He's going to go. I'll see how long he can hang on. Antonio Reyes rides him today. I went 10, 5, and 1 in the 5th. On to the 6th. 4,000 non-2 for fillies and mares, going 6.5 furlongs. And I landed on the 8-horse Ariki Princess out of the John Snow Barn. Dropped all the way down to 4,000, broke a maiden. Then she went up to 8 on a brutally sloppy day. Didn't like that. Went back down to 4 and ran second behind Catching Fire, as you mentioned.
That was a tough 4. I was unlucky to run into Catching Fire for $4,000.
She was big odds that day. She was almost 20 to 1 and ran a good second behind Catching Fire. There's no Catching Fire in here. I got a Ricky Princess on top. 4 Feathers, I think, is absolutely the horse to beat in here, but she's been scratched in the gate. She's been away from the races since the 5th of July. Good gate work, though, on September 13th and 46 and 4, but I don't know. It's a lot to ask 3 months later to come up with a big effort. I put her in the 2nd spot. And in the 3rd spot, I put Little Blossom, who's super honest at this level, just keeps knocking on the door. She'll break through and win one of these one day for trainer Mel Snow. I went 8, 6, and 3.
Yeah, I went to the 6-horse 4 Feathers. I'm going to take a shot that this horse is off the freshening, will be better. Obviously, first time out, ran well, ran off a big freshening, came back 3 weeks later, ran horribly after getting pressured on the pace. But I like the comeback. Last 2 works especially. I know the horse has been scratched. But the 47 and then the 46 out of the gate, there's 2 good works. And this horse gets the lead. This horse could not get caught, might not get caught. So I had to try 4 Feathers to defeat the probable horse she's got to beat, Ariki Princess, the 8 horse. That horse is live in here. Good runner-up effort, as you mentioned, to Catch and Fire, who's a pretty nice horse. And I put the 5 horse, Charming Silver, and I didn't try that one, Richard Hamill, for Jody Ross, and that was a pretty good effort. I know the horse has been favored, been burning a lot of money in his last couple starts, but better draw. Had the 7 hole last time in a 9 horse field, and moves in more into the middle of the pack. Might get a little bit better trip and get, be able to reverse the decision that she lost to Little Blossom and Claire de Lune last time. So I'm going to put her in for third. I went 6, 8, and 5 in the 6th race. On to the 7th and final. $16,000 fillies and mares, non-2, non-3 lifetime. I ended up on the 5 horse here, Storm Stalker, the 3-year-old filly. I'm going to take a shot. I don't usually pick 3-year-old fillies in these races. We're going to try Storm Stalker, getting out of those tough stakes races. Horse Broker Maiden, about 5 starts back, and then ran a good third behind Susan's Day in Ambleside Park. And that was a race that really caught my eye, that I thought was really good and good enough to beat this field. Then she got into some dirty tough stakes Morning Coffee, Quadra Cat, Sailing for the Sun. The list goes on. I mean, she was running against tough horses every month, and she just ran good enough to keep her up there. Unfortunately, she would have run bad ones. Maybe, Rob could have got her out of those races and get her into a race, where she could have been a little more competitive. But she was just good enough, and Rob does a great job, and she kept her in there. She kept running well. I mean, she ran 4th in the sales stake, and she's run some good races. But this is a lot easier assignment for her. I think she is the speed of the race. I don't see a pile of speed in here, and I think she can get to the front. I know she wasn't making the lead going long in her races against quality horses, but against maidens and conditional type horses, I think she's speed, and I think she's going to get the lead. So I put her on top, put Xenia in for second. Good runner-up effort to SL Express. I thought she had the tougher trip of the two between SL Express and Xenia, so that's why I flip-flopped them. I know SL Express, the 1 horse, got the money last time, but I'm going to call for Xenia to flip, turn the tables on her. I went 5, 3, and 1.
I went with Xenia, as you mentioned. I thought it was a good race last time, and I like the fact, she got hammered the day that she broke her maiden, she got moved up. Was away for the race for a while, but come back with 2 good efforts. Was a big price today. She ran behind Fire Beauty, who's very tough this level, and Blended. And then came back with an even better effort the last time, only getting beaten neck by SL Express. I think she's sitting on a big one. I put her on top. I put SL Express in the second spot. Just won this condition, figures to be a handful in here again. Richard Hamill does ride. And Race the Wind, I put in the third spot.
I left the horse off. I Race the Wind, I left off. I'm a Kitten's Joy, Blended. They're all nice quality horses. It's just a matter of who's going to get a trip. And there's not much between these horses. They're all very close in ability. All 7 fillies, even Casual Believe. They're all very, comparable in ability. And it's really tough to say this one's going to win, that one's going to be second, and that one's going to be third. And it's we have to make a decision, on the air. But I mean, it's just we're splitting hairs.
We're picking 3 of a race where you'd like to pick about 5.
It's a tough race. Whoever gets lucky with the trip, but I can see Race the Win. She can win this race easy. She's a
Broker
super
Maiden
quality
very
filly.
smartly by 5, 3 back, and then been knocking the stakes coming in. She drops in here, so another one that's definitely in there with a shot. I went 3, 1, and 4 in the nightcap. That'll do it for our analysis of the Sunday, September 27th card. Up next on screen will be picks. Mike, as always, you're
back in race number 1. I went to the 3 horse Irish Romeo. Going to call for a bit of an upset in the opener. Don't know what kind of price I'm going to get, but I think the horse at least will be 4 or 5 to 1. 3, 1, 4 for me in the opener. Race number 2, I went to the 4 Heart Set, but I think it is 4 or 6. 4 and 6 for me in the second race. I put the 5 horse PS Betting on You in for third. In the third race, I went to the 1 Moonride. Once again, another 2 horse race. I think in your pick 6s. I'm going to go 1 and 2 on my ticket. I went 1, 2, 7 though in the third. On to the 4th race, went to the 1 off the top over the 6 Wilo Cat and the 7 Sinya Rojo. Pretty classy group of horses in race number 4. 5th race, went to the 3 horse Listo Warrior. Had lots of trouble last time, and maybe call for this one to pose a little minor upset over the 10 New Jersey Joe. I went 3, 10, and 5. 6th race, number 6 4 Feathers over the 8 Ariki Princess and the 5 Charming Silver. In the 7th and final, number 5 Storm Stalker over the 3 Xenia and the 1 SL Express.
On to my picks. In the first race, I went to the 5 Uncle Willard over the 1 and the 2. In the second, I went to the 4 Heartset over the 6 and the 2. In the third, number 1 Moonride over the 2 and the 3. In the fourth, number 5 Title Contender over the 6 Wilo Cat, the 7 Senior Rojo. In the fifth, I went to the outside, number 10 New Jersey Joe over the 5 and the 1. In the sixth, I went to the 8 Ariki Princess over the 6 and the 3. And in the nightcap, the 7th, I went to the 3 Xenia over the 1 and the 4.
Well, thank you everyone for tuning in to Handicappers Corner. Just a quick reminder, our next live card will be Saturday, October the 3rd, October the 4th. October. It's already October. Unbelievable. We're getting into some more champion. Another week after that.
I was going to say we run Saturday, Sunday, but then the following week.
We run Sunday, Monday, which is the 11th and 12th. I believe, which is, of course, on the Thanksgiving program. We'll have the ballerina, the premiers, the Ascot graduation for the 2-year-olds, and the fantasy for 2-year-old fillies. So 4 very important stakes races on the Monday, October 12th program. But still lots of excellent action. We still have 4 more weekends after this for our 2015 meeting. So still lots going on at beautiful Hastings Race Course. But once again, live racing resumes at 1:50. And on behalf of Drew, thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll see you next time here on Handicappers Corner.